All right, let's start. Let's take a look at the disclaimer. Please spend about 10 seconds to look at the disclaimer. Basically, this is educational and it's not, it doesn't represent any buy or sell, nor any financial advice or recommendations for any investment products. All right, let's start. Today's topic, I'll be covering 4 main things. And if you have attended my previous market depth session, today's content will be updated and refreshed with many new case studies, and that is something that I always like to do, refreshed with updated case studies so that you can understand how to apply the market depth concept, all right, to as things evolve, okay, and you can see how well a market depth can be an important tool for you as you progress towards your investing or trading. All right, so number 1, let's go through the basic, understand what's market depth about. Number 2 is to look in depth at how to read level 2, which is also another name for market depth, and also to tie in with time and sale and the trade summary. Next is to use market depth to identify support resistance. And I think the very important thing here is to identify hidden support level and resistance, okay? And how to map all these key levels onto your chart, all right, with the help of market depth information. Thus, once you have all these levels, how you can plan your entry, exit, stop limit, and to understand about the market sentiment, basically whether the market are more bullish today or less bullish today. All right, and lastly, we're going to take a look at case studies, and especially how these case studies evolve over time, and with the emphasis of these case studies on intraday entry and exit. All right, now about myself, that's me. I've been training for a long time, especially in the corporate and institutional side. For the retail clients, I'm training mostly on the equity, on the forex and commodities. Myself, I'm also doing on system design, trading almost every day, investing mostly in REITs. So I do mostly in REITs and also in technology stocks. So because these are something that I can understand very well. All right. If you do have any other questions, right, then you can ask me. Okay, now understand market depth. Number 1, we term market depth, we also call it as what we call level 2. Okay, now so when you heard somebody say, hey, look, let's take a look at the level 2 of a given stock, so that is also meaning market depth, right? So to understand what's level 2, we need to understand what's level 1 first. Okay, so level 1 shows the volume. All right, that means that the current bid and the current ask volume, all right, at the current level, current price. Okay, so for example, if you take a look at your stock quote, every time when you log into your platform, you're going to see all these prices, right? That's level 1 information. All right, then what's about level 2 or market depth? All right, what does it show? It shows the volume at the other prices other than the current level 1 prices. Okay, and it can show you at the bid side up to 20 levels and the ask side up to 20 levels. Okay, so let's take a look at the market depth information. Now, if you look at what I have here, this was the market depth information on 18th of September. All right, 2020, that's last week on DBS. Okay, on the left side, okay, so this will be the left side, we have the bid price and the bid volume. So the prices are moving in a descending order, meaning that prices actually gets lower. All right, and you're able to understand, all right, at each of the corresponding price, what's the volume queuing at each of the corresponding price, meaning that if there are people who are trying to buy the stock at the bid price, then what's that volume at each of the price. Okay, so the left hand side represent what we call the buy queue, and with the market depth we are able to know, for example, 1988 there will be 104 lots, okay, essentially waiting at this particular price. All right, trying to buy at this price. Okay, now the right hand side represent what we call the ask price, all right, or the ask volume. This means that these are the group of people, right, who are trying to sell the stocks. Okay, and the prices are ranged in ascending order, meaning that prices move higher. Right, now you can see that, for example, at the level of, let's say, 20.06, we have the market depth showing that there will be about 217 lots waiting to queue here. All right. Now, the first level here will be your level 1. All right. Other than that, those downwards, all right, will be your level 2, otherwise known as market depth. Now, apart from understanding market depth, right, once a particular transaction is being transacted, it will be reflected in what we call a time and sales report, right? So we have the time and sales here, that each of the corresponding seconds or time, you're able to see, for example, at the price here, whether the volume is being transacted at the buy or sell side. Okay, so once you have all these transactions, all right, then the broker will consolidate that individual transaction to become a trade summary. Okay, now what's a trade summary for you? It means that at each of the individual prices, these will be the aggregate information. At the right hand side, all right, the right hand side here, that's the sell volume. Now it means that at this place here, the buyers are agree to buy at the seller price. Okay, so instead of the buyers waiting to queue at the bid price, which will be essentially the lower price, they are actually buying at market, which is buying at the higher price, okay, which is at the sell volume here. Okay, now if there are more volume being transacted at the right hand side, which is the ask price, right, then this indicates that the stock might be actually moving up in the future. Okay, because there are more people who are willing to buy right now without queuing at a lower price. Now, if you take a look at the left hand side, which is the buy volume, that means these are the volume that are being transacted at the lower bid price. What this means is that these are driven, motivated by the action of seller. Seller are rushing to sell at a lower price. Okay, now it means that the seller doesn't want to queue higher at the ask price. Instead, once they see that there are people who are bidding at the lower price, they decided to say, hey, look, I will sell now without waiting. Okay, so therefore, when you have more volume being done at the, let's say, the buy volume, all right, or the bid side, it means that the stock has the potential of going down. It just says that the volume are being driven by the seller.